Many thanks for all of the agents attending live and those that will view this session. This is the first Education Agents session in collaboration with Chaminade College Preparatory School based in St. Louis in the United States. We're lucky enough to have Mark from the school today who will be running through a presentation with regards to the school. All attendees are currently muted and we invite you to post any questions that you may have into the text box, which can be answered at the end of the session. As always, the sessions are recorded and will be hosted on our YouTube channel for future review. I'll now hand over to Mark to begin his presentation.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to all of you. As mentioned, my name is Mark Baczynski, and I am the Director of Resident Student Admissions here at Chaminade College Prep. I was also lucky enough to attend school here in grades 7 through 12 and have been working with our resident program since 2010. So here we go, Chaminade College Preparatory School, the Esto-Veer difference. We'll talk a lot about Esto-Veer during our conversations, but a very brief introduction into the meaning of our school motto, Esto-Veer, is a simple one. It's Latin term for be a man. And we try to make sure our young men who study with us are the best men they can be. We do that through a number of different ways that I would love to show you right now. Now, Chaminade, one of our pillars is education through adaptation and change. As the quote says, new times demand new methods. We feel that the young men today learning in our classrooms are very different from 10 years ago, 50 years ago, or even 110 years ago when our school opened. So we're continually doing new things to make sure our students are staying ahead of the game. Our modern classrooms are student-centered, meaning you won't see typical classroom setups in our campus. Our boys will be arranged at tables and desks and chairs and even sofas in the back of the classrooms, whatever makes them the most comfortable for learning. Our block schedule includes 5 class periods a day. Each class period is 70 minutes long. This schedule allows our students to not only listen to a lecture, but also work in small groups, ask lots of questions, get one-on-one support from our teachers, and even take short breaks throughout the class period to give themselves brain breaks and, really stay interested and focused during the time we are teaching. We really do feel that there is a lot of academic challenge at our school. Starting in our middle school, we have a pre-AP program set up to really make sure our students are working hard and getting those skills needed for the high school level when they're studying university level coursework here on campus. Speaking of that college prep curriculum, you can see by looking through our website or our curriculum profile that Chaminade offers 27 AP classes. This is across nearly every one of our divisions, including our maths and sciences, but also our arts, music, and theater. We want to make sure our students are being challenged in the classroom and that they're also earning something for that. So along with our 27 AP courses, we offer over 100 advanced college credit courses that our students can take and earn university credit. This is a great thing for them for many reasons. First, it's going to prepare them for the rigors of a university environment, but it's also going to save them time. They will have, as you see, over 80% of our graduating class last year left with over 40 hours of college credit already under their belt. They were able to transfer this credit to the university of their choice and basically enter university as a second-year student, being able to go directly into their majors quicker, double major, or even earn a master's degree in a shortened amount of time. And for most families, the bigger thing here is that they're also saving tens of thousands of dollars in university tuition with their investment in the secondary school education at Chaminade. Chaminade, as you can see, does have a 9-to-1 student-to-teacher ratio with an average class size of only 17 students. Actually, our largest classes are only about 20 or 21 students, and once we hit that number, we will cap it and open a new section. And what you will also see is as a student progresses through the years at Chaminade, once they're a junior or senior, grade 11 and grade 12, you will see many of our classes may only have 9, 10, 11 students as they're becoming more focused on what they want to study for university. Chaminade is a boys' school. We have been working with young men in both middle school and high school for 110 years. We have been doing this for many reasons, but one thing that we have learned over the years is that boys and girls learn differently. This is backed by science and biology. Frontal lobe development of young men comes at a slower pace than young women, and they most likely need extra time and focus on executive functioning skills, such as organization and time management. Boys like to move around, they like to get involved, they like to be hands-on. So through our experiential education program, both inside the classroom and off of campus, we are able to keep our young men engaged and really focused on what we are trying to teach them. You know, our school was one of the first in the area in 2003 to introduce a one-to-one laptop program here on campus, which allows our students to stay involved technologically, have instant access to teachers, grades, assignments, comments, and more. You know, the relationships that we build with our young men are also essential in how they do through their time at Chaminade and beyond. Each one of our teaching teams is very interested in learning about each one of our students, not just about their strengths and weaknesses in the classrooms, but also who they are as a person. What do they like to do after school? Even learning about their families back home. This really helps us for that personal connection and relationship in building these young men into, you know, a brighter future. Of course, when working with students from all over the world, we know that English is not going to be the first language of all of our students. One thing that Chaminade has done over the last 5 years is integrate our ESL program right into our daily schedule. While we do have a 2-week orientation for new students before school starts, if needed, the extra support they're given throughout the day will follow them for 1 semester, 1 year, or even longer if they need it. As you can see on this slide, our ESL composition class, our ESL theology, ESL languages, and ESL social studies are built so our students can take courses that are in each one of those divisions, but also learn in a very language-based way. So they'll be learning very similar, if not identical, topics as their American or English-speaking as first language counterparts, but they will be learning the grammar, vocabulary, and concepts behind each one of those classes at the same time, which will really help them be a stronger student. We do a lot of things with this, including, as you see the picture on the right, we brought the boys to Springfield, Illinois, to the land of Lincoln. While we were there, we allowed them to do scavenger hunts and speak with people, ask questions, and tell a little bit about themselves. So we also do a lot of real-world English learning with our young men. While we love working with you and working with students from all over the world to bring the world to Chaminade, we have a much fuller global program. We want to make sure that our boys aren't just learning by sitting in the classroom every day. Each year, our students will go on class trips, whether that be our 6th grade trip to the Grand Teton Science School, where our boys spend over a week learning about river ecology, doing snowshoe hiking and working with the local rangers for tracking different animals, or maybe our 11th grade trip that is a junior leadership training, where we bring the boys for a week to really learn to work together, do high and low ropes courses, do a lot of trust type events that allow them to become the senior leaders the following year. Each year, our boys will have many opportunities to head out of the classroom to explore and learn. You will see this not only through classroom curriculum, but also through our service and volunteer department. Our boys have the chance to work around the city to help clean up parks, to help, you know, with local community service opportunities, even working with the homeless and the poor downtown. We do a lot of things to make sure our boys are giving back to the community around them while learning that esto vir difference and how to be a man. But speaking of our global community, yes, it is very important that I talk today about our international students. So currently we have students from over 13 countries living with us, about 65 international students, and they are a great part of our school. You know, our boys bring with them not only the interest in learning here at school, but also their own knowledge and cultural awareness from many places around the world. So for example, when we're studying a world history class in 10th or 11th grade, and we're talking about for example, the Rwandan Civil War, and we have students from Rwanda in our class to talk about how they lived through it, or maybe their parents, you know, it really adds a dynamic to our classroom that is wonderful for everyone involved. We feel that giving them a great Chaminade education is our main point, but we love to learn about everyone else as well. This includes celebrating different festivals from around the world. We've had this year a Mexican Independence Day celebration. We also celebrated the Lunar New Year, and we do a lot more. So it's great to just be part of one Chaminade family. Within our resident program, you know, Chaminade is a day and boarding school. In the beginning, you know, 100 years ago through about 40 years ago, Chaminade was predominantly a boarding school. But as our city and our area grew and our school was no longer outside of the city limits, the number of day students wanting to attend has grown. So now our percentages are about 80 to 85% day with 15 to 20% resident. But our total number of resident students is still about 75 to 80 students each year. So it's a great mix for our young men. They have the support and help of a small boarding program, but they also get the experiences of a true American high school. With a little bit larger school means there's more activities, there's more classes to choose from, and there's a lot more opportunity for them to make friends and grow. But with our resident program, you'll see we have 15 adult staff who live and support our resident students on campus. We have a unique way of selecting these adult staff, and that half are Chaminade teachers. We have teachers in the history department, theology department, ESL department, and more living and working with our students. But the other half of our adult staff are actually local graduate students at universities here in St. Louis. They are usually studying child psychology, education, or other things that would be very helpful for our students. They're also able to be a little bit younger. The students can work with them a little bit more than, you know, our older staff members, and they really have a good time with this mix. You know, Chaminade also, you know, as a high academic college prep school, we want to make sure our students are on task. So you see that we do have the structured study environment. You know, Sunday evening through Thursday evening, we have a pretty structured schedule, which allows our students time to participate in sports and activities after school, but has built in 2 separate study times that the students must be in their rooms at their desk with their doors open studying, or they can take advantage of going over to the school building and working in the library. But it's not all work. We want to make sure that we have fun too. So weekend activities including go-karts, amusement parks, hiking, going to see professional sport events like the St. Louis Cardinals baseball team or the St. Louis Blues ice hockey team. We'll do events around holidays like haunted houses or Easter egg hunts. You know, we like to do a lot of stuff to keep our boys involved. So when the weekend comes, it doesn't shut down and get boring or empty here on campus. Our boys are always involved and always have something to do. Lastly, we want to make sure that we're following the leadership opportunities that we offer all of our students. So we do have a dorm council, which is a mix of students from different countries, different grade levels, different states, that will come together once or twice a month to talk about dorm-related issues. Maybe everything is great, or maybe they're tired of the same sandwich every Friday afternoon. We will work with them to see what we can do to continually keep our resident program better and let them know that their voices are being heard. Now, what can they get involved in? You know, the best Chaminade student is one that is well-rounded, working hard in the classroom, but also working hard outside of the classroom. Chaminade is lucky to be able to offer over 18 varsity sports for our students with over 65 different teams that they can join. Chaminade is very lucky that we've been very strong in soccer, basketball, American football, golf, swimming, and more, winning recent state championships and even being ranked nationally in some of those sports. But that doesn't mean that if you're not the best, you can't join. Most of our sports are no cut, and it allows students with any ability level to try it out. And in a true American system, we have 3 sports seasons. So students who want to try different things will always have that option. But that being said, not everyone's an athlete. Not everyone can get involved on the pitch, on the field, on the basketball court. So we also want to make sure that there are a lot of clubs and other activities for our boys to get involved in. From our barbecue club, which is one of our most popular, to fishing, quiz bowl, Model UN, which just got back from a great trip to Chicago representing the school, photography, art, table tennis, and more. We will always have something for our boys to do. They can never say there's nothing for them. We also feel that finding your creative side adds to this well-rounded, well-balanced student. So, students who are creative, students who like the arts, whether they're visual arts or theatrical arts, musical, we have a lot of different opportunities for them within the school day. While a number of these things can be done as an after-school club or activity, the majority of them will be chosen as a class during the semester or the full year. Our students are able to take advantage of our new fine arts building, which you can see in the picture, which was only built 5 years ago. It includes a 1,000-seat theater, a small black box theater, as well as multiple band rooms, art rooms, broadcasting rooms, and even a dark room for developing film, which most of our students don't know how to do these days, so it's great to be able to show them something from the past. But our boys can really take advantage of this opportunity as well to not only make them a well-rounded person, but also build their college resumes. Another big important part of Chaminade, in our leadership building and character development, is our house system. While the house system, as our boys like to call it, the Harry Potter system, has been around for years and years, mostly in the UK and on through Australia, it's not something that's very big here in the United States. Back in 2003, the same year we started the laptop program, we also started the house system here at Chaminade. We had been through some of our experiential education trips, visiting schools in London, and we saw how it worked with their students, and we wanted to invite them over here and help us learn how to do it. And over the last 10 or 15 years, I think that we've become a leader in the house system program here in the United States. One of the best parts of the house system for new students, especially new international students, is that ability to meet other students as soon as you arrive on campus. We know that that can be a difficult situation for some students. Not only am I going to be studying in a new country, possibly a new language, very far from home, but how am I going to make friends? How am I going to fit in? Well, the house system is a very organic way to make those relationships happen. Student will be placed in the Gray House, for example. The Gray House captains will write letters to your students over the summer, welcoming them to school. Once they arrive, they will start to learn more about their interests, their academic strengths, their involvement in after-school activities, and see how they're best going to fit into the house. You will see younger students in 8th and 9th grade routinely hanging out with older students in 11th and 12th grade during mentor group, which is like homeroom at the beginning of the day, or during school-sponsored activities such as weekend barbecues or school dances. This allows our boys across grade levels to really learn about one another, and our older students to learn how to lead and help the younger students. There's a lot more we can talk about the house system in all of these slides, but I'd really like to let you learn more as we move forward. I love this photo. The Chaminade Red Army. Of course, our school colors are red and white, but you can see from most of our marketing materials. But the Red Army is a group of students who are there, again, supporting all of our other students. In this picture, we have over 200 students at a Chaminade soccer game. We were playing one of our biggest rivals in the city for a chance at the state championship tournament. And it's not uncommon to see this number of students there chanting our fight song, yelling good things at our team, and maybe not so good things at the other team on occasion. But it's always sportsmanship at its finest, as these boys are supporting their teammates, their classmates, and everyone here at school. All of this that I've discussed really leads back to our motto. As I mentioned, Esto Vir, be a man. Chaminade, first and foremost, is a school to help our young men grow in both academics, involvement in extracurricular activities, their character, and especially leadership. As you can see, the photo on the left is a nice photo that we took of all of our boys walking to the Skip Vera Arts Center for an event. But the picture on the right was unscripted. We just saw an older student, a senior this year, helping a 7th grader tie his tie for an upcoming event. This is what we love to see in our young men, working together to help each other to become better. We hope that Chaminade is able to work with you and your companies around the world, and definitely hope that your young men will come here, do well, and make a difference in the world. Thank you very much for listening today, and I do look forward to answering any questions that you may have.
Great, many thanks, Mark. That was an absolutely excellent presentation. There's just a few questions, just with regards to the application assessment process. So would you mind just covering that in a little bit more detail, please?
Perfect. Chaminade, accepts a number of applications, but we prefer our Chaminade online application, which can be found on our website under admissions. For the application, we require a few things. We ask for a current grade report and 2 years of official transcripts. We also ask for a teacher recommendation and a language proficiency score for students who are second language learners. We will accept a number of different language tests, including the TOEFL Junior, or one that we prefer is the Duolingo English test. Once we have those documents in order, I would love to set up either a school visit where the family and student can come and see campus, do a shadow visit and visit our classes, but that's not required. We understand that that can be difficult at times. So a Skype, FaceTime, an online interview is also available. We offer rolling admissions for our international students, so we don't have a strict deadline, meaning you can apply as early as 1 year in advance for the time you would like to enter, or even now as we still have a few spaces available.
Excellent. And in terms of intake, so is it just once per academic year? So students start in fall typically and then work their way through to a sort of a standard semester basis? No,
great question. We do actually take students at both the first and second semester. The majority of our students will start with us in the fall, which does include the orientation before school starts, as I mentioned. But students who are, academically eligible, strong students who wish to start with us in January are also reviewed. There is a much shorter orientation period, so we need to make sure that those students are, strong academically and are ready to get involved, so the transition is smoother. But we do offer an intake at both semesters.
Brilliant, excellent. Okay, that's great. Well, that concludes our session with Chaminade today. So many thanks to Mark for going through that excellent presentation. As stated, the video will be hosted on our YouTube channel probably within the next 48 hours or so, so agents will be able to review at their convenience. We'll also hyperlink a contact for Mark's email directly into the video links that we send as well. So any agents that are interested in representing Chaminade can contact Mark directly through the communications that we send as well.
Well, thank you very much for your time today, and I look forward to hearing from you guys soon.
Excellent. Thank you very much for your time there, Mark.